This way. Right behind you. What is it?
I lost the scent again.
Ruby, it's okay. We'll find your pack.
That's what you said yesterday and the day before. It's late. Come on.
Tell me everything you know about this land.
There's supposed to be a lot of singing.
Singing?
Well, there was in the movie. I saw it in the storybook. I think there was a book, too.
Ruby, this isn't a book or a movie.
Well, whatever it is, there's no trace of my pack scent. I don't think they were ever here to begin with.
Well, we better start looking for a way back to the enchanted forest.
Wait. It's okay. I think I know who this little guy is. Toto?
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Toto only barks for one reason, when he has sniffed out a witch. Who is it? Who's the witch?
He's not barking because I'm a witch. It's...
Ruby, it's okay. You can tell her.
I'm part wolf. But there's nothing to be scared of. See?
Wait, don't! Toto! Why did you do that? Toto!
Well, let us help you.
You've done enough.
You're going the wrong way.
Now you're an expert on Oz.
No. But I can tell you, he's headed northwest, straight into the wind, through Juniper Field into a valley of pines. Come on. No. What is it?
The Wicked Witch. Let's go!
This, to me, is a scene that all fans of Once Upon a Time have to love. Because this is what the show is known for, that combination of all fantasy, fairy tale characters brought together. In this sneak peek alone, we have Little Red Riding Hood, Mulan, and Dorothy. It's really, really amazing to think about all these characters from three completely different places of origin come together and have a pretty great relationship from the way it's done. I really just enjoy the interactions of Ruby and Mulan. Like, they really seem like they have a pretty good friendship since they last hooked up in Don Brock. That was really cool, you know, in the whole Camelot arc when Mulan saved Ruby from the witch of Don Brock. That was a pretty cool episode, at least in that regard. Granted, it didn't progress the plot, but at least with getting Mulan and Ruby back in the show, it was pretty good. So with this sneak peek, we have Dorothy and Mulan back in Oz, and they're trying to find Ruby's pack, and Ruby pretty much said to Mulan that her family's not here, or her pack's not here. I think the best part about that, the interaction between Mulan and Ruby before Dorothy came out, was Ruby said to Mulan that this place is sort of nothing like the movie there, or I don't think she said it's nothing like the movie, but more or less she referenced the movie to Mulan, talking about singing and munchkins, and I thought that was really funny because that's the second time Mulan has heard about movies. I believe in season 3, Neil told her about the movie Mulan, and now here Ruby is telling her about the Wizard of Oz movie, so that was pretty funny. I also love the fact that somehow in Storybrooke they had access to home media, VHSs and DVDs and whatnot, so the mechanics of the dark curse are, not fathomable. So I really love Ruby and Mulan's interactions, and Ruby's looking for her home. Now, the only thing about the beginning of the sneak peek that I have not an issue with, but I'm curious, it says many years ago. To me, this can't be many years ago since Ruby and Mulan recently met in the 6 weeks during the Camelot arc, I believe, unless it was beyond that. But if I'm correct, Ruby left to go to Don Brock right after Elsa arrived, and I think the Frozen and the Queens of Darkness arc wasn't even that long. I think maybe in the grand scheme Once Upon a Time it might have taken I believe that it did say 6 weeks later after the Frozen characters left, but the Frozen storyline I think only took maybe 2-3 weeks, if that, not even. And this, granted, it took 16 weeks to air, but in the runtime of the show. So I think there's no way it could have added up from the Frozen to the Queens of Darkness to Camelot. That could have added up to a full year. If anything, maybe half a year. So the sneak peek does say many years ago. I just don't think that's right, at least with the person who was doing that subtitle. But that's more or less nitpicking. But then we have Ruby senses Toto, and Toto has some impressive growling skills, might I add, for such a little dog, and that dog is very cute. I'm really glad we got to see Toto again, and he's able to somehow sense a witch. I wonder how Dorothy was able to train him to do that. I doubt that'll be explained, but I like the fact that Toto has witching skills or magic skills sensing, or Toto has the ability to sense magic, and Ruby tells her, Dorothy, that she's not a witch, she's a werewolf, and Dorothy's like, I don't need your help. I kind of am wondering if Dorothy's standoffishness to Mulan and Ruby has to do to her sort of defeat to Zelena. I think that Dorothy might be somehow grieving the loss of the Scarecrow, because I'm assuming that this takes place after the Scarecrow. In fact, it has to, because when the Cyclone appears and Dorothy goes, it's the Wicked Witch, that has to be the Cyclone that brought Zelena to Oz from Storybrooke, thanks to Regina. But overall, I really love the interactions. I really like seeing these costumes again. I like getting this fantasy feel. I know in the flashbacks we've been getting some fantasy feel, but in the underworld it doesn't really have that. And even some of the flashbacks have been kind of lackluster in terms of that fantasy magic element. And I think Oz has a lot of potential there, and I really am loving, that fantasy storyline. Plus, like I said, the combination of these characters is fantastic. The acting of Megan Ori was great, and Jamie Chung, I love seeing her. Dorothy's actress, blanking on the name, obviously as a reviewer that doesn't look too great on me, but I really did like her take of Dorothy. She was pretty cool, and I'm really curious to see how this episode will play out. So overall, I think this sneak peek is fantastic. It had some really great moments between Mulan and Ruby, and then some really interesting scenes between the three of them, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they will take on Zelena, and what Zelena does to Dorothy, which we learned from the trailer that she does something pretty bad. So double thumbs up. I enjoyed it. Share your thoughts about in the comments below. Thank you so much for checking out my review. Sorry for my hair's out of whack. It looks absolutely horrendous. Patreon, if you guys want to check that out, that'd be cool. Other Robert is where we do my solo reviews and other reviews, and this is where we post footage until I get the strike resolved, which hopefully I will be doing soon. So thank you so much for checking this out, and I will talk to you guys all later. Bye.